We're joined in studio again by President of Point Park University, Paul Hennigan. Earlier in the program, we talked about his role as president of this university. And President Hennigan, students play a big role in these elections. And this is a really big demographic for these politicians. What role do students play, and why is it important for them to get involved in democracy and in the political process?
Well, it's very important for students to understand that when they become 18, they're a part of the political process in the United States. And that's a responsibility that students should take very seriously. It's a right that every U.S. citizen at 18 has. And I think it's a responsibility, and it's not too young at age 18 to get involved in national politics. And I look at the two candidates today, and I wonder how people your age connect with them, and I wonder if they resonate with people your age. But quite frankly, it doesn't matter. One of them is going to be president of the U.S., and one is going to influence your life in one form or another. And so the more folks that get involved and vote, the more opportunity there is to influence the outcome.
And beyond just the local level of politics and the state level, here at Point Park we have a united student government. And they're really the voice for students. Why is it important for students to engage in conversations with USG and get involved with USG here?
Well, when USG operates as it should, which it has for quite some time now because the students take it so seriously, they really are a responsible voice in representing the students in how we operate the university. So I interact with the leaders of the student government regularly. I meet with them regularly. I attend student government meetings when I'm invited to attend. I'm happy to talk about any issue with any student, but in particular the student government. And students have influenced what we do here at the university. Food service is the most recent example. We heard loud and clear last year that students were not satisfied with the food service. Well, we have a new food service this year as a result of the feedback that we got from the students. But it took an organized body, the student government, to give us that feedback. And you know, I've had students who will complain about one thing or another, and I've said, well, what have you done besides complain about it? Have you talked with your student government? Well, no, I haven't. But once I've encouraged students to do that, they find that there's an opportunity and an outlet.
So what's the process like there whenever a student maybe is complaining to a senator? What then happens whenever they file a complaint with USG? How does it make its way up through the ranks?
I'm not exactly sure of their process, but I believe that what happens is it's up to the senator to find a way to bring it up at the student government meeting, whatever their rules of protocol are. I have been in some student government meetings, and I have listened to some of their debates, and that is a really responsible group of students. They take that very, very seriously, and I'm really quite impressed with them. And then I took a group of students from the student government on a bike ride 2 years ago, and then I got to see the human side of them. I got to see the student side of them. I got to see the 19-year-olds, the kids. But I told them in a very complimentary way how proud I was of how they behave in a student government meeting.
And these 19-year-olds, these kids, these are students that have played a major role in elections in the past. And you've been around here since 2000, like we talked about earlier. And it's not your first rodeo this year with an election. How has the student engagement and the student involvement in this election process evolved or changed since you've been here in 2000?
Well, I think that the biggest change in the past 16 years has been social media and cable TV. Students now, anybody but mostly students, are able to engage with social media any time of the day. And to see the campaigns using social media, Barack Obama's first campaign really pioneered that. To see students engaging by way of social media is the biggest change I've seen since the year 2000.
Well, you can continue to follow our election night all night long using social media with the hashtag ElectionPPU. We'd like to thank President Paul Hennigan for joining us on the election night special this evening. So, President, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Josh.
We'll have more election night coverage coming up next.